Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kitty, and today I want to talk about uh, life being a balancing act. I realized the other day when I recorded The Pain of Necessary Goodbyes that I forgot to tell you something that is crucial pretty much when we are merciless in saying goodbye to people who don't want to grow with us, people who keep on hurting us, our old selves, habits, negative thinking, things like that. As much as we are to be merciless in these situations with cutting off, we also need to be balanced in terms of our feelings. What it means, what I mean by that is, I used to think that, and I think most of us have it easier if we get mad at somebody, we remove ourselves from some situation with some person or a group of people or whatever. Then it's much easier for us to kind of stay mad at them, because when we are mad at them, we don't have the need to call them or anything, and then this whole separation is more bearable to us, right? We keep on telling ourselves, well, they did this and this to me. There's something I can forgive, but I can never forget, and things like that. And as much as that's human and it's fine, it hurts mostly us, but also the other person, because they have acted from the place of their awareness, which is most of the time low. I mean, we all make mistakes and err, human. And what I realized on this healing journey was that the most beautiful thing and the hardest thing to do is remove yourself from the situation, but yet keep on sending love to this person, keep on envisioning them. There are meditations that I do for this. There are techniques. Keep our hearts open, because the easiest thing is to become like someone who hurt us. That's something we've read over and over throughout, social media. The easiest thing is to be hateful. The easiest thing is to be resentful, angry, keep that rage inside, for sometimes people, go to their graves with it. It's not doing anything. One book that really helped me was The Power of Forgiveness. I think that's the name of it. It's Reverend Desmond Tutu, and he wrote it with his daughter. And the Tutus believe in the radical forgiveness, in the sentence that encompasses this whole theory of theirs and their life's work is that there is absolutely no act in the world as horrible as not to be worth forgiving. And it took me a while to understand that. But then when within that book, they talked about how a woman lost 3 children, I believe, from a drunk driver who just, passed completely obliterated and oblivious, passed through the red light and squished her 3 children. And I remember thinking, my God, is it possible that woman is ever going to, first of all, have a normal life without the rage inside, that, she'll need justice and scales to be balanced somehow. But basically the scales are balanced when you forgive that person, even if they don't repent. I think the man in question repented. I think they started, the Tutus started a program in Africa where they're from. And I think they started a program there where they have people come to prisons to forgive the convicts for what they did, whether they know them or maybe sometimes their family, sometimes they're complete strangers, like this case with the man who ran over this woman's children. So, and basically the worst thing for me was to forgive when the person is so low and unaware of what they're doing and how harmful they were behaving towards me, that so low in awareness that I don't have somebody who repents for it. It's easy to forgive when somebody says, I screwed up, I'm sorry. Or even if they say, you know what, I don't think I screwed up, but whatever they say. But a lot of times it happened to me. My closest family, my caregivers, never acknowledged the pain they inflicted upon me, and therefore never really offered any apology. And I think the hardest is to live with that and to say, I will still do everything to forgive you because I don't want to become like you. And so I read these books on forgiveness, and I realized that the hardest thing for me throughout this journey was really to have this balance, the balance of, I'm going to remove myself from whatever hurts me and whoever hurts me, yet I'm going to remain in the loving light. I'm going to send them healing. I'm going to send them love, as opposed to, and of course through these meditations that I'm doing, sending love and healing, and books that I'm reading, and practices that come with those books as well, like carrying a stone in your pocket and things like that. I was always one step closer to forgiving, but then my ego would come back up, and it would be like, no, don't forgive, like they're not even sorry. Something would come back, and I would think, this is the only armor I have. My ego is the only thing that protects me from not falling again for their words, or forgive me, or whatever, their actions, to get back into my life, manipulation sometimes. But then I realized it's much more to be balanced, much easier to be balanced in all this, when you unify your mind and your heart. And then I started researching. I came across Heart Math Institute. I think it's a Californian institute that from the 90s, they started their research on heart-brain coherence. This is where the state where we first, I do these meditations once or twice a day. It takes about 10 minutes. It's really short and simple and sweet. So I started doing these heart-brain coherence meditations so that I can unify my heart and my mind, so that my mind can say, you are not going to hurt me again. I keep you at a distance. You're not talking to me. But yet, every time I think of you with love in my heart, with a hope that you will realize the extent to what you hurt, to what you hurt me, or to what you are, acting in discordance with your true self, because everybody who is not acting out of love is not acting out of their authentic self. So, the heart-brain coherence meditations help me really release and kind of unify my mind and my heart, so that I reach this perfect balance of, I'm taking care of me, but I'm not rigid and unforgiving. I am strong, but I'm not uncompromising. I am, there's this, I realized everything in life is, to be successful in life for me is to balance, to be like a juggler, like really balance every single aspect of one's personality and what life throws at you within balance, So it means a calm mind, a calm nervous system, a steady heart, a loving heart, an open heart. There are millions of examples about this importance of this balance in life. One of them is, like a lot of people talk about manifestations online, and a lot of people don't get what they want because they're gripping too tightly. like Zen Buddhists say, attachment is the root of suffering. And if you look at it, it really is. I mean, we get attached to people and places and certain outcomes, and we get depressed if it doesn't happen just the right way, the way we envisioned it at the time when we set for ourselves and things like that. And, universe is, I think it's got a much broader picture of our lives, and he's always there to kind of to say, scoot over a little bit. I got something bigger and better for you if you just let me give it to you. So balancing act, I mean, it's holding a strong desire and not clinging to the outcome. Like children. Why are children perfect manifestors? Because if you notice them, I'm gonna be this and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna fly, and then she's a ballerina in 1 second, and then she wants a big red doll or something, and then 5 minutes, and she really wants it with all her heart. And this is where the intensity comes. The Abraham Hicks way to manifesting is like, you have a clear thought, you follow it up with a great emotion. Like how would you feel if you just had it? And kids they're great with this imagining things, and they go into all this imaginative world of having it, and then they let it go because they want something else, and something else took their, I'm going to play with a cat, whatever. And once they release, of course the thing comes, eventually it comes because they're not attached to anything. So we should learn from them, or we should at least awaken our inner children, as opposed to that. We're gripping too tightly to everything, I remember myself when I was in love, I was also like the partner that I wouldn't wish today ever. It's like clingy, wanting to, it's okay to want to do everything together and stuff, I guess, in the beginning of a relationship, but to put the pressure on somebody to make you happy without you being happy by yourself, that's just not fair, so that's something that changed. So as I said, this balancing act, leaving people without becoming hard-hearted. There are so many goodbyes that we need to say, and the most beautiful thing is to say them and to always wish for that person to heal, to be happy, see them in a happy light, and of course do these meditations. Gabriel Gonsalves has a nice channel with scent healing meditations. He combines this healing energies with, he always begins his meditations with heart-brain coherence, so you can go check out his channel. Also, talking about balance, I remember wanting so much to change my life, mind, body, and soul unity and everything. And then I started rigorously exercising, like I was out of this, my body needed to move. Every single day I needed to do yoga. It grew from 20-minute yoga, 15 to 20, then 45, then 1 hour of power yoga where I wouldn't be able to breathe or anything, afterwards. And then I remember having these horrible pains in the lower back because I stretched some muscles because I was overdoing it, So I was disciplined, but I was also rigid. Body needs to do nothing 1 day a week for sure. So, the new me knows this now, the balanced me. I have Sundays for complete rest, complete. I mean, I'm like, I wouldn't even call myself a couch potato. I'm like cattle, as my grandma used to say, lying like cattle. I'm just doing nothing, under the AC right now and watching movies and just like moving my head possibly to eat or change the channel. I don't care. So body needs that. Mind needs that numbness too, just being stupid and doing nothing, watching something, falling asleep, getting up, like that kind of day. So 6 days a week nowadays I practice yoga. But I combine yin and yang yoga. So let's say that I do 2 heavy days, 1 hour power yoga, and today I did that. Tomorrow I'm going to do another probably heavy one, but mostly I will listen to my body. I'll put my hand on my heart and say, what do you feel like today? And I listen for 10 seconds. And then when I choose the program, which is always Travis Elliott in one of his classes, he's my favorite yoga teacher so far. Then I'm going to do something that my body agrees upon. And definitely, even if my body kind of wants to do something crazy, and it's been 4 days, we've been nuts, with power yoga 1 hour, I'm going to force a yin yoga class. I'm going to force a full 60 minutes of just deep stretching, because I need to go into that fascia. I need to go become a fascist. It's like, how do you call people who work on their fascia? This is a stupid joke. Anyway, so let's talk about balance a little more. What do I mean by balance? Speaking our truth, but not needing to win at all cost, and not especially, you will see a lot of cruel people will tell you that I'm sorry, I'm just honest, Not really, there is a certain thing called cruelty. I used to be cruel too. Just, kind of pack the truth, and I want to offend somebody, I would pack it into a humorous little truth and then slide it in as a joke. That's not being honest. That's being cruel. Being honest would be speaking the truth when somebody asks you, what do you think of me, or something, or if they ask you, you don't go impose your opinions on anybody, pretty much. And there is always that fine filter that each of us has to say, like, think about how we would feel upon hearing these words. Sometimes, even if they're meant in a goodwill and for the highest good of all and stuff, we need to deliver them with compassion. Here, really, what helped me here was Thich Nhat Hanh, what's his name, that Tibetan monk. His little book on communication helped me a lot. It's a very thin book, like a guide, basically. And he said active listening and also speaking so that the person feels better after hearing our words, and even maybe healed and not worse than they came into conversation with, Balancing act. Protecting our energy without isolating ourselves. That's another thing. This one is tough because on our spiritual journey, isolation is our best friend for sure, because we need to cut all the noise from all sides, and so that we can hear our soul. Because we've been listening to our mind and our ego for a long time, like most of the time for half of our lives. And then eventually soul bursts out and says, what about me? This is what we call spiritual awakening or midlife crisis or whatever, however you want to call it. But there's definitely the bounty that the soul makes. And when she does, we need to hear it without opinions of people, the media, conditioning, parents, family, friends, anything else. I think meditation and prayer is the best way to find some of our truths about us, that beautiful saying, know thyself, the pivotal for me in our journey, can only be actually achieved by being in silence and being with oneself. However, there is a time that we need to step out, because we need to see how we learned. I mean, we only learn about our healing through communication with others, through contact. So I suggest you go check out every now and then. Check out every now and then with small talk, I have people here. I don't have these like some really intimate friends here in Spain since we moved here 2.5 years. I needed this time for me. But I did make some I would say, leisurely friendships, like some better acquaintances, people that I celebrated my birthday with last year, went to a music festival, people I come and have a beer with occasionally, but since I don't really drink, even those friendships kind of faded. But it's okay to go. Even I like to go people watching. I like to be amongst people. Even in my cafe bar in the village up here, it's cute to see my neighbors. And have a little small talk in Spanish. So I don't isolate myself. Then I go to a shopping mall and I spend a couple of hours. My beautification, my manicure, pedicure, my hair. I'm gonna have tomorrow. I think I'm gonna bleach my hair. So. Some kind of contact to see that, because if the triggers come up, then we need to heal a little bit more. And I think most of the healing can be really done through communication with others. So there's got to be a balance with this, staying in and healing, and then going out and healing this other way, basically, because we heal through our contacts as well. So don't think it's a waste of time to be even triggered with people outside. Another balance is being spiritual and practical. We are basically, if you look at that big, what is that, like animation, like that drawing of a man, and then there's like this whole aura around him, these waves, because we serve as the medium between the higher realms and the earth, right? So we ground ourselves. We have money as a value, as a currency here. We are on the ground, and we need our masculine energy is definitely going to ask for us to roll our sleeves and do certain things. And then we have the other part, which is more feminine energy. And the one, the higher chakras connected to the whole universe, as above, so below. So just as the law, one of the universal laws tells that there's got to be balance, the law of gender and everything else. The same way we need to find that balance of, okay, now I've daydreamed for whole afternoon. I've rested my body. I've done a little gentle yoga yesterday and today, and now I need to take a little action, because I can dream as much as I want, but if I don't take any action, nothing's going to happen. The universe needs to co-create with you, not to create by itself. It's never going to give you everything on a platter. You can dream as much as you want. If you don't get up in the morning and go get it, there's nothing. So there's another balance to to practice. And strength and softness, like I thought I was kind, but I was actually a doormat to a lot of people. So that needs to be balanced too. Like, now I speak up every time somebody is about to even cross my boundary or just say something that is hurtful to me. I'm not going to give them a second chance to say two things that are hurtful to me. This time I'm going to be, listen, you can't talk to me like this. This is offensive. If you don't change that talk, we're not going to be talking. That's basically it. And at the same time, I can understand if they are here to offer a dialogue without getting offended at what I said, but taking my feelings into consideration, then we can have this nice give and take where my boundaries help them to see how far they can go. Because boundaries are a beautiful thing, if they're not set in some kind of anger or with some kind of trauma behind, if they're set because this is, as far as I'll tolerate something, it nicely tells people your level of pain. How if you don't scream and somebody's putting out a cigarette butt in your arm and you don't scream, how are they going to know? They're going to cut off your hand. So basically, treat boundaries is something that needs to be there for helping people, to give them your little, limits. So that's the beauty of balancing there. Having them, but not being rigid, understanding, being forgiving, being kind, but not a doormat. And the most important thing, the one, when you do say goodbye to people and all those habits that I talked about in the previous video, which is the pain of necessary goodbyes, to release resentments and anger, go through the feelings, process rage, I mean, they're going to keep on coming up. I mean, that's how it was for me. I mean, I kept on being angry. Every third day anger would come up, and I wouldn't push it down anymore. I would be like, okay, I'm going to just curse everything, and I'm going to punch the pillow and talk shit for like half an hour, and then, I will empty out of myself. I will try to channel it into maybe a poem or something, like a freestyle rap poem or something. Go do a little bit of more aggressive workout. Go breathe for a 2-hour walk with my dog into the woods. And breathe a lot, like really sweat out. It's so hot outside that it's like everything's going to come out, all the rage. And then we're going to come back to being Zen, And then, these anger and rage keeps on coming less and less, basically. You just kind of like, you either cry it out, you punch it out, you do all these things, you feel it and you heal it. So, but yeah, the most important balancing act for me throughout this journey was to never go back to closing my heart, to never close my heart upon being hurt, but to remove myself and keep my heart open. That was the hardest one. And, but it can be done, and it's beautiful because now, for example, I'm not talking to my mom, but I keep on seeing her doing things that she loves, like having a little fashion show, and because she's a fashion designer, enjoying doing some gardening in her new house that she bought recently in the Croatian seaside. I haven't been there yet. I saw the photos and stuff, so I can just imagine her being happy, doing nice things, and I'm wanting the best for her. That is a beautiful state of being because I feel good feeling it. I am not swaying away from my true self, which is pure divine love. And at the same time, she cannot harm me anymore because I'm not giving her the access to me. So there's a beautiful balance there. And yeah. So that's what I wanted to tell you. I hope you will find balance in as many things in life as you can on your journey. And it is the hardest thing to actually achieve, definitely. But I think it comes naturally later on, It comes naturally because I remember realizing, oh my God, I'm too rigid with yoga. I'm too this with this. I'm too blunt with friends. It's almost cruel, You kind of catch yourself. So this awareness is important. You bring to your awareness and then you correct these little things. I mean, it's just, we're human. We're going to get out of balance. I mean, daily and monthly and and annually. But it's important that we try, Try to get back into balance in everything we can do. So that's it. It's what, 28 minutes. I don't know. I guess I talk too much. I don't know. The good thing is that you can always cut my video, stop it, or fast forward it, or not listen to me at all. So up to you, freedom. I hope to see you again. I hope this helped a little bit. And wish you love. I will see you soon. Bye.